Welcome to CFC Fan TV. It's been a long time, but Sophie and I are finally together and we're back in the studio. How are you?
I'm good, Raw. How are you?
I'm good. I am loving the World Cup. It's so exciting. It's enthralling. And I genuinely believe that England are going to win it.
Do you?
I do.
I don't...
However, there is some big news brewing at Stamford Bridge.
There is.
Finally, we seem to be getting our act together and we seem to be talking about potentially signing Christian Pulisic.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, didn't know much about him until this video. He does seem decent. He's a young, what is he, 19 years old?
19 years old. Good friends with Emily. You know Emily, who we used to go to football.
Oh, no way, is he?
Yeah, he's really good friends
with
him.
Yeah. Well, which is great, you know. It's nice to know he likes fans. But, you know, there is talk about the likes of, I don't know, Willian going elsewhere and whoever else. And we do know that Abramovich likes to sign younger players. So this would be a long-term investment, I think.
Yeah, it would be dear. Yeah, I think that's the thing with this one. This is going to be a very, very big investment. I think he's probably worth somewhere between 60 and 70 million. And that's certainly what Dortmund are going to want for him. So I think there's talk at Stamford Bridge of doing a kind of cash plus players deal. Dortmund, obviously. Batshuayi was obviously at Dortmund.
Yeah,
he
did really
impressed. They seem to have gone a bit cold on him.
Yeah, I don't know. Why is that?
I don't know. I think Batshuayi is an incredibly gifted
he's a great player.
Finisher. And also, he hit the ground running there. He was fantastic for them.
Yeah.
He got injured, and I'm not entirely sure why, but they don't seem to be as keen on capturing his signature as they were originally. On the other side of that same coin, though, they do seem to have one eye on Alvaro Morata.
Which I find a little bit bizarre. I will say I find it bizarre. I know he's, you know, he was a great player before he came to Chelsea, but Morata for me had a terrible season. Do you know what I mean? It was not a good season for him. If I was looking at that, unless you had some sort of close friend connection with someone's agent or whatever, I would say that's more of the deal. That's the way I'm seeing it. I can't really understand it. A lot of it, I will say, with Morata last season was his confidence, and that's something that we won't understand because we aren't football players.
Yeah,
but I don't. Between Batshuayi and Morata, surely you would want Batshuayi.
Well, I certainly would, but I also think that a club like Dortmund would be looking at what Alvaro Morata has achieved already in his relatively short career. He's won 2 European Cups. Like, he's not a mug.
True, no.
I know we've looked at him and haven't been particularly impressed, but his record speaks for itself. And I think Dortmund would be looking at him and thinking, if we can get him to sign for us and rediscover the form that he displayed, particularly at Juventus, then they would have a very good player on their hands.
True.
So I think that's what they would be hoping. Whether they'd let Pulisic go, I don't know. But the fact that we're in this conversation, the fact that there's potential that we are going to sign a player of this quality, fills me with joy because it's been a long time coming. We haven't been active enough.
I completely agree. I know you're super excited about it, and I do think there is a possibility of it happening, but realistically, the board at our club have to sort of say, look at what happened to us last season, and they have to break the bank. They have to spend the money on this player.
Yeah, and
that's the only thing that worries me. If we were talking about a different club, I'd say yeah, it's very, very likely that he's going to come. But we are extremely careful. That doesn't mean knowledgeable of how we spend our money, but very careful with who we sign when they are long-term deals. And actually, do you know what they're going to think? They're going to think, right, we splashed out all this money on Morata and that didn't pay off. What if that happens again?
But the thing that they could do is kind of reinvest the Morata money via Morata himself.
Yeah, I get it, yeah.
And then try and bring Pulisic to the club, because it's looking like, well, it certainly did look like at one point, Willian had played his last game for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Manchester United are firmly knocking on the door for his signature. So if Willian were to leave and we were to bring in somebody like Pulisic, that would be a wonderful improvement.
Yeah, exactly.
So well, can you see this one getting over the line?
The only thing that fills me with a little bit of confidence for this, unlike other players we've been linked to before, he is very young. That's what we look for. If he's only 19 now and he's performing to the high standard that he is, and we have one eye on him, or half an eye, then I definitely think he's a possibility. Whether it will happen as soon as this season, I don't know, but I definitely do hope so. So we're going to give you a little bit more background information, and here is all you need to know about him. 19-year-old primarily operates as a central attacking midfielder. However, he is capable of operating on either of the wings as well as a playmaker when presented with an opportunity. The one aspect of his game that catches the eye is his speed on the ball. Pulisic is not afraid to take on his man and beat him with his pace and skill on the ball. The one aspect of his game that catches the eye is his speed on the ball. Pulisic is not afraid to take on his man and beat him with the pace and skill on the ball. He has showcased great close control, and a low centre of gravity allows him to create space for himself even with numerous defenders closing in. He also works tremendously hard defensively tracking back. Perhaps Pulisic's biggest area of concern is his physicality. He is starting to attract attention from the opposition defenders, with the footballers these days often flying into strong tackles. Pulisic will need to improve his physique to continue his growth as a player.
Whoa. Impressive.
He is impressive, isn't he?
Impressive.
I think I'm impressive too. Impressive voiceover.
Of course.
Yeah, so there you go, guys.
All off the top of your head
I
as
know,
well.
I'm just an absolute
so clever,
genius.
Such a natural.
Shut up, Roy, you're joking. That's so annoying. So there you go. There's a little bit of background information on him. He certainly seems extremely interesting. He has huge potential, which I think is the key thing here.
It's been too long since Chelsea have been linked with a player of his calibre, so I'm just delighted that this is potentially going to happen for us.
Yeah, exactly. So guys, comment below. What do you think of this player? Do you think he'd be a good signing for Chelsea? If not, what's the alternatives? You tell us, because we're struggling now, aren't we? Anyway, comment below, let us know your thoughts, and if you like this video, click the subscribe button as always. Go on, you Blues. Don't kiss, because that's my thing.